Hey, Bekker here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to help you with eighth note rhythm again. I'm going to give you some examples. But before I'm going to help you with the eighth note rhythm and give you some ideas, I want to ask you to help me. If this video was helpful to you, share this video with at least one person. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe right now and don't forget to press the bell. Let's start with the A minor pentatonic scale, which is positioned on the 5th fret. I'm going to start with the index finger on the 5th fret, pinky on the 8th fret, index finger, ring finger, index finger, ring finger, index finger, ring finger, and back again. So that's the A minor pentatonic scale. It's within grip 5. So if we look at eighth note rhythm, we had, for instance, this rhythm. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and ta ta pa ta ta pa ta ta pa ta ta pa. 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc. Notice that I'm using alternate picking. So for every second eighth note on the offbeat, I'm strumming upwards. So ta ta pa ta ta pa ta ta pa. So whenever I sing the pa, I'm doing the upstroke, just like I mentioned in the previous video. So what else can we do? We can play 4 eighth notes per note, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc. Right? But we can also do a rhythm like this: 2, 3, and 4, and etc. So now I've played the quarter note at the beginning, I've played the quarter note at the end, but what would it sound like if I would play the quarter note in the middle? It will sound like this. First let's sing it. 3 and 4 and ta pa pa ta pa pa ta pa pa ta pa pa. So there's 2 pas within the rhythm, right? And every pa gets an upstroke. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay, then we can also use dotted notes. So what if I play a dotted quarter note with an eighth note behind it? Sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc. Right? We can also do it vice versa, right? So I can start with the short note and end with the long note. 2, 3, 4, and etc. Okay, so now we have 6 patterns. We had this one. We had this one, 2, 3, 4, and we had this one, 2, 3, 4, and this one, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and those are the 6 eighth note patterns that you can play over the pulse. Okay, so what can we do when we're playing over a backing track? You can use the backing track like this: 2, 3, 4, and. You can use another variation: 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, so the interesting thing about learning these rhythms is, while we're learning how to play these eighth note rhythms within the minor pentatonic scale, we're also preparing ourselves for the 16th notes. Because if I would cut the tempo in half and play 40 BPM, but I would still play the same rhythm within my right hand, then you'll have 16th notes. So if I would play these notes again with 80 BPM, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Etc., right? But now let's see what it sounds like over a beat 40 BPM. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So now the same rhythm is turned into 16th notes. So all those patterns that we're learning within the eighth notes are actually the same patterns we're going to learn within the 16th notes. The only difference is that when you're going to play 16th notes, then it's going to be faster. Because if I would play 16th notes within 80 BPM, it sounds like this: 2, 3, 4, and. Right? So it's only faster, but the rhythm is the same. Because if we would play, for instance, the second rhythm, sounds like this: 2, 3, and 4, and. Versus, so I'm going to play eighth notes. Now 16th notes. Time, eighth notes, 16th. I'm going to explain more about 16th notes in one of my next videos. For now, practice the eighth note rhythm within the A minor pentatonic scale, and then you'll prepare yourself for playing 16th notes. Looking into power chords, I'm going to play a chord progression that is used in choruses of many popular songs. And it's going to be these 4 chords. It's going to be the G5, which is the G power chord, to the D5, then the A power chord to the C power chord. Okay, and we're going to give it all eighth notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, so give it a little bit of gain. We can also double the length of each chord. So we're going to play 2 bars per chord, for instance. 2, 3, and 4, and. Top, ba, top, ba, top, ba, top, ba, top, ba, top. I'm using downstrokes, but you can also do it with an upstroke. Let's do that. Let's play this rhythm. Ta-pa-ta, ta-pa-ta, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and... all the rhythms that we just talked about within the A minor pentatonic scale are also available for when you're playing power chords. When you're playing a power chord, be sure that the surrounding strings are muted. So, if I were to be a little bit exuberant with my right hand, the surrounding strings would not ring. If we were to play something like a punk rock song, for instance, with the same chord, then you can exuberantly strum with your right hand without having to worry about touching the wrong strings. So, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, and... Okay, so what else can we do with rhythm? Let's look into some chords and some strumming in chords. We're going to play a G chord. We're going to play a C added 9. Then we're going to go back to G. And then we're going to play an E minor 9. And the strumming pattern we're going to play would be this one. The best thing to do when you're learning a strumming pattern is first to sing it, and then you're going to sing it while playing. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and ta ta pa ta 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 pa ta 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 pa ta. Okay, so that's the strumming pattern. Now we're going to play a whole bar of G, a whole bar of C, back to G, and then E minor 7, right? So here we go. 2, 3, 4, and... When you're strumming, in this case, look into your right hand. When we're strumming with the right hand, be sure to only play from the wrist. I'm just going to play a bit of a solo over a backing track to show you some ideas within the 8th note rhythm that you can use within the A minor pentatonic scale. Thank you for watching. If this video was helpful for you, help me by sharing this video with one other person. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, subscribe right now. Don't forget to press the bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye.